this has gone on for so long. They need to make it right with the people that live, in that area.
Right now on WQAD News 8, saying it stinks. The people in Muscatine joining a class action lawsuit against Grain Processing Corporation. And terror at a concert, the scary moments caught on camera as police respond to a deadly incident at an England concert venue.
Live from WQAD, this is News 8 at 9.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Johnny Gendrich. We begin with a developing story tonight and a deadly incident at a concert arena in England. This is cell phone video at an Ariana Grande concert in Manchester where police are responding to reports of an explosion tonight. You can see and hear concertgoers screaming as they rush for the exit. Police have confirmed 19 people are now dead, 50 more are hurt. Witnesses say they heard a loud bang at the end of the concert before evacuating. Police say they are treating the incident as a terrorist incident. A very troubling and ongoing situation there, but now turning to weather. A pretty mild late spring day for us in the News 8 viewing area. Storm Track 8 Chief Meteorologist James Zahara has our first forecast.
Yeah, especially for the first half of the day, Johnny. We had that sunshine and temperatures actually made their way right around 70 or even better than that before all those clouds moved on through, and with it some of those raindrops as well. Really taking place either way south of the Quad Cities or way to the north. You can still see some activity around the Dubuque area, but that's making its way into southern Wisconsin, and some innocent light showers that we see just south of Highway 34. That's making its way through 136 around Keokuk to Carthage, and looks like making its way eastward toward Macomb. So at least as we go through the next couple of hours, that's where the wet weather will be. As far as the rest of our hometowns, we're looking pretty dry out there. Here are the warm temperatures that we had. Yeah, you can see some 70s that popped up for daytime highs. Currently, we're seeing those numbers pretty much around those lower 60s. In the Quad Cities right now, 62 after a daytime high of 74 degrees. Some high thin clouds scattered about, but hey, it's all dry out there. Wish we can keep it dry as we go through the next several days, but unfortunately, more shower chances not too far away. I'll tell you when the next round will be taking place coming up in just a few minutes. Johnny?
All right, thank you, James. Well, for the first time in years, the Hallberg Civic Center in Rock Island is booked with events. Tonight, the city is giving community members the green light to continue work on the place. The city approved an operational agreement to allow Friends of the Hallberg Civic Center to operate, maintain, and manage the historic mansion. The Parks and Recreation Department has taken care of the building over the years, but wasn't able to keep up due to lack of staff and money. The group has done everything from landscaping, decluttering, to refinishing the floors for a more inviting look.
It was never falling down. It just wasn't taken care of as it should have been. It wasn't cleaned properly. It wasn't marketed properly. And it just needed people that cared. It needed TLC.
The mansion is now booked through June. It already has some reservations for next year, too. The Friends of the Hallberg Civic Center say its next project is to clean up the mansion's carriage house. A road in West Davenport residents believe has been neglected for too long will get the repairs it needs. Next week, construction crews will start work on Rockingham Road between Birchwood Avenue and Schmidt Road. The $3 million project will include storm sewer, curb, and sidewalk improvements. The road will stay open during construction, and it's expected to be done by fall. And resurfacing work on the west lanes of Brady Street in Davenport should be finished by next Monday. But once that's finished, work will flip to the opposite side. Crews will begin resurfacing the two eastbound lanes on Brady Street between River Drive and 7th Street. Those east lanes should be reopened by the end of next month. More than 100 people plan to sue Muscatine's Grain Processing Corporation plant in their neighborhood. That's after the Iowa Supreme Court certified a class action lawsuit. News 8's John David shows us how some claim the plant is doing a lot of damage to their properties.
This landmark case pits neighbors against GPC. They're seeking payback for years of pollution. Soot tells the story at Larry Alford's house.
It smells like bad eggs.
GPC smokestacks billow nearby, covering his walls with messy debris.
Just stuff roads are on to the houses.
Evidence covering his hand.
They need to do something about that.
Neighbors like Larry are stepping up to sue GPC. They say the plant infringes on their enjoyment. Sharon Mockmore is part of the original case.
We want to make the community a little better for everybody that lives here.
The ruling disappoints GPC, which started operating here in 1943. It recently spent $83 million on emission and environmental controls, switching from coal to natural gas.
If I get the permits and I follow the permits, and then some residents choose to have an alternative opinion, that's a little tougher to reconcile.
The class action can include residents from 2007 to 2012 who lived within a mile and a half. That could total about 4,000 people.
The smell, it just depends on which way the wind's blowing.
50-year-old Brian Freitag is a lifelong resident.
This has gone on for so long, they need to make it right with the people that live, in that area.
GPC counters that residents chose to live near the plant.
Our assumption is that folks built homes, moved into homes around the plant because they wanted to live there.
GPC says the decision is bad for Iowa business, both large and small. It's determining its next best move. In Muscatine, John David, WQAD News 8.
Thank you, John. GPC says it will continue to be a good corporate citizen. There's no timeline yet for how long this case will play out. Former Muscatine Mayor Diana Broderson's court appeal over her removal has been pushed back. A hearing had been set for Wednesday, but the city objected to the original hearing date. Broderson filed the motion last week to let her stay in office while her appeal is heard. The city council voted to remove her from office earlier this month after nearly a year of deliberations. The hearing will be delayed until next month. The man accused of opening fire inside a Rock Falls bar is back in Illinois tonight. Seth Wallace was extradited from Dillon County, South Carolina to the Whiteside County Jail today. Police say Wallace walked into the Cooler Bar last month and opened fire inside the bar, which is owned by Wallace's cousin. 4 people were shot. All are expected to be okay. Police arrested Wallace in South Carolina after he turned himself in. He's charged with 4 counts of aggravated battery with a firearm. Police have arrested this Rock Island man in connection with a hit-and-run crash in Davenport. Police say Terrell Bonner left the scene after his car hit a motorcycle. It happened a week ago in the 3200 block of Harrison Street. 2 people on the motorcycle were hurt. One of the riders was airlifted to Iowa City. Bonner is charged with leaving the scene of a serious injury crash and driving without a license. Iowa Governor Terry Branstad will now head to China to become the next U.S. ambassador to the country. It took 10 minutes for the U.S. Senate to approve Branstad's confirmation in Washington, D.C. today. The governor said he would use his long-standing relationship with China's president to improve U.S. relations with China. Branstad is Iowa's longest-serving governor. Lieutenant Governor Kim Reynolds will now take over once Branstad leaves office. There's much more to come right here on WQAD News 8 at 9. Still ahead, Riding for Veterans, the special road trip some bikers are taking and how it's honoring those who have served our country.
And it looks like a very quiet evening set for all of our hometowns tonight. But hey, more clouds will be rolling in and those clouds will squeeze out some showers. I'll tell you when the best chance for those showers will be taking place right after the break here on News 8 at 9.
You're watching WQAD. This is News 8 at 9. WQAD weather.
Welcome back, everyone. Really not too bad of a day outside
No,
today,
it wasn't.
James.
It was great, just like you planned, I heard, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why did I do that?
Well, because you went out and took advantage of the beautiful morning skies, right?
Yes.
And then you knew that there was going to be some raindrops out there, but they stayed up into our north or down to our south.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go and take a look at that radar.
Let's do that.
And you can see some of the activity way up into our north and still down to our south. We'll continue to see this area of activity make its way off to the east as we go through the evening hours. Really, our hometowns around Highway 136 from Keokuk to Macomb. You'll still have to deal with some of those showers out there. Seeing some activity west of Waterloo, but as we lose some of that daytime heating, I do believe some of that activity is going to be falling apart. Now, this is all associated with this area of low pressure that will be steadily and slowly making its way across to Tuesday for the next couple of days. That keeps the shower chances live even through Wednesday, as even the counterclockwise motion of that area of low pressure may bring in some rain from the east and pull it off to the west. So let's show you all this with the help of our future track. Starting around 10 o'clock tonight, we'll move it all the way to about 1:45 and some scattered clouds about, once again, the activity is going to be either in southern Wisconsin or way down south around central Illinois overnight. A lot of broken clouds in between as we make our way into early Tuesday morning. In fact, if you still need to get some of that yard work done, you know what? The morning hours actually doesn't look all too bad, but after lunchtime and thereafter, yeah, that's when we start seeing the covers begin to pop up with some of these scattered showers, maybe even a few, I like to call it non-severe thunderstorms. We could be seeing some small hail with maybe one or two of these storms as we head later on in the afternoon. We'll continue with that chance even around 6 o'clock on Tuesday evening. You can see the swirl taking place around the Tuesday, and that is what we're going to be experiencing by Tuesday night and going to Wednesday. Watch what happens. The moisture actually comes in more from the, looks like the northeast, and kind of swings its way westward as we make our way into Wednesday afternoon. Once again, the coverage looking very scattered about, but nonetheless, that chance will continue at least until about the mid-afternoon hours as we head into about Tuesday. Wednesday. Now, what will this do as far as our temperatures? It's going to get pretty cool. We'll drop those numbers back in the lower 60s, not only on Tuesday, but also in the Wednesday as well. Fortunately, though, starting on Thursday and thereafter, we start seeing those temperatures slowly improve around 70 on Thursday, and then the warmer 70s come in starting on Friday and right into the upcoming Memorial Day weekend. There's only one little catch, and that is with these warmer temperatures coming in, we start getting a little humidity and we start bringing back that chance for a few scattered showers. Currently 62 degrees in the Quad Cities. All is dry with some of those scattered high-level clouds about. We'll drop it down to a low of 53 degrees. We can wash out these thunderstorms that we have here. It will just be a mostly cloudy night and a pleasant one too, with that light southwest wind at 5 to 10. And then a much cooler day tomorrow with a high of 64 degrees. Any activity that we'll see come tomorrow will be in the afternoon. Scattered showers, a few thunderstorms with that west wind around 5 to 10 miles an hour. We'll keep that chance going even on to Wednesday. Once again, the coverage looks very scattered in nature then. Thursday looks awesome, 71 for the daytime high, and we'll warm those temperatures even more heading into the Memorial Day weekend. Right now, it appears Saturdays is your holiday weekend's best. We'll be near 80 degrees, and then we bring back now scattered showers Sunday and especially going into Monday.
All right, not a bad weekend at all.
Overall, so far, so good. Yeah.
All right, thanks, James. Coming up on WQAD News 8 at 9, life on a U.S. Navy aircraft carrier.
Really feeling like I get to feel a part of something, like I'm doing something greater.
Next, we give you exclusive access with some Quad City sailors on the carrier and how they protect our country. News 8 exclusive tonight. It's been 6 months since the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower returned from deployment in the Middle East with several Quad City sailors on board. And since then, the United States Navy aircraft carrier has been stationed off the East Coast. Here's a look at life on board the mighty Ike. You'll only see it on News 8. At all hours of the day, 5,000 sailors in the United States Navy operate, launch aircraft, and maintain the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower. Right now, it's 150 miles off the East Coast in what's called a sustainment phase.
I'm from Clinton, Iowa.
AT-1 First Class Petty Officer Rob Mathieson is in the Carrier Airborne Early Warning Squadron. They call themselves the world-famous Screw Tops.
Same thing as your weather radar.
The saucer detects an enemy from farther out than anything else to relay a warning back to the carrier. An aircraft carrier is the Navy's most important tool, and its primary weapons are the aircraft on board.
We go in and we run all the systems, make sure they are all working properly.
It's this sailor's job to make sure this E-2C Hawkeye is ready for a pilot to fly.
They put their trust in us, which is really a big deal.
The 13-year sailor likes the challenge.
I decided that I wanted to see the world and try something different.
Each sailor joins for their own reason. Now they all work toward a common goal of forward defense. The Ike is ready to deploy at a moment's notice. F-18 engines are maintained on board. Pilots train around the clock. The average age on the carrier is 22, and there are signs of normal life, like the dentist office or pulling up a lawn chair to watch the NCAA Final Four. Of course, working out.
This is my escape from my normal day-to-day job of working down in the reactor plants.
With an incredible view of the Atlantic Ocean. Sailors also get online to contact home until they can't.
I actually grew up in Bettendorf because it wasn't printing out, but I got to print out. So.
ITSA Justin Kellner is an information systems technician senior apprentice.
It says unable to access internet during the E7 to 03 approved hours.
He travels the halls of this ship.
How you doing, Chief?
To help with technology issues.
Hey, you guys know Lieutenant Jablonski? I decided to join senior year. Looking back, it doesn't make any sense. I sort of just took a chance, to be honest, and it really did work out. It was pretty great. So these are blades. They're like big CPUs.
This is where the IT veins of the ship meet.
It's basically a nerd cave. We have 19 tickets in right now.
On deployment, a chance to say hi to loved ones depends on his department.
Not only do we run Facebook, which is the best, for keeping morale up, you know, for sailors, right?
Communication on the 3-acre flight deck is a lot different. With 55 aircraft on board, it's very dangerous and very organized. At times so loud, hand signals are the only way to talk. When the F-18 turns in the distance, you hear it, see it coming, and boom. It lands and catches on a cable before coming to a stop.
As an AW, I love flying, especially in a helicopter.
Moline native AWR-2 Austin Guyton flies in the MH-60R.
I can hang out the door, just see everything from a bird's eye view. It's great.
He graduated from Moline in 2010.
In 2011, I signed up for the Navy. My job in the back is primary mission is surface and ASW anti-surface warfare. We have 3 lasers to designate targets.
Guyton's aircraft sees what's underwater.
There are enemy submarines out in front of the fleet. They send us at a certain distance in front of the carrier to do screens.
They drop buoys into the water to pinpoint sounds to send back to the carrier.
If they want us to engage it, we'll be loaded with a torpedo.
When he's not in the helicopter, he's in his shop.
Us air crewmen, we keep our helmets and stuff here. We have various TVs. During deployment, we had like game consoles and stuff.
But even during a sustainment phase, there's not a lot of downtime. Sailors work 12-hour days, 7 days a week. On its last deployment, the Ike spent 7 months in the Persian Gulf.
It was good. It was it was hot, but other than that, it wasn't that tough.
You're being humble. It was heat index of 140 degrees.
It was hot.
I never felt like I served my country, really.
Yeah.
But after this deployment, definitely.
Honestly, feeling like I get to feel a part of something, like I'm doing something greater.
For those back home,
We're trying to keep everybody safe, and we work hard, and we make sure that we get done what we need to get done to defend our country.
150 miles off the coast of Naval Station Norfolk. Catch extended footage with the sailors, where they sleep, where the pilots hang out. It's at the top of our homepage on WQAD.com. And News 8 meteorologist Eric Sorensen got the chance to tour a different aircraft carrier this morning. He stopped by to the USS Abraham Lincoln. It's part of the Good Morning Quad Cities road trip. You can catch Eric at a new destination every morning this week on Good Morning Quad Cities. To follow him, search Road Trip at WQAD.com or follow the hashtag GMQC Road Trip on Twitter. Dozens of motorcyclists rolled into town today for National Veterans Awareness Mission. The motorcyclists ride from Sacramento, California, all the way to the nation's capital to honor those who have served our country, particularly POWs and soldiers missing in action. Today, the riders stopped at the American Legion Post 26 in Davenport for a special POW ceremony, followed by a 21-gun salute.
Till they come home, we need to go back and get them. You know, can't forget about them, can't leave them behind. We've still got World War II remains that are coming home. We've got Korean remains that are coming home, and it's our Vietnam guys need to be taken care of too.
The next stop the motorcyclists will make is in Marseilles, Illinois, to visit the Middle East Conflicts Memorial. Coming up on WQAD News 8 at 9, all things pork, the popular breakfast item at the center of a 5-day festival, and when you can go. This might make you hungry. An entire camp dedicated to bacon lovers is about ready to open. Camp Bacon is part of a 5-day festival happening in Michigan. There are bacon baking classes, an open mic night, and of course a pig roast at the annual Bacon Ball. Proceeds from the event will go to local community nonprofits. The festival goes from May 31st to June 4th.
Bacon, part of one of the 5 major food groups, right?
Yeah, I've heard that.
I would say so.
Absolutely.
Let's go and take a look at our temperature right now. 62 degrees we have. Skies are all quiet, dry it will be. And we'll see those temperatures drop around 53 degrees. Not as cool as what we had this morning. We'll start off with some sun, then more clouds roll. This is more similar to what we had today. And then we see some scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two by the time we get to the mid-afternoon or early afternoon hours. We'll keep an eye on that. I think the coverage is going to be a lot better compared to what we had today. And temperatures only climbing around the lower 60s.
Okay, thanks James. Thanks everyone for watching News 8 at 9. We'll see you back here tomorrow night. Good night.